What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And today I'm going to share something pretty crazy with you guys. This is going to be an introduction, and it's also probably going to be the start of a few more things to come, possibly a series here on After Prison Show. It was over this past weekend when I received an email that was from a guy who's serving time in prison. This is a guy that I don't know anything about. He's given me an alias of who he is. We're going to call him Bob here on After Prison Show. This is a guy who's been locked up for decades. I don't know exactly how much time he's been locked up for, neither. This is a guy who is currently locked up dealing with the pandemic in prison. He's got things that he wants to be able to share about that. This is a guy who has a cell phone also in prison, and a guy whose identity is going to remain anonymous here on After Prison Show, and a big part of that is because he's kept his identity anonymous from me. So mentioning all of those things, I want to go ahead and mention probably some frequently thought questions with everything that I've shared thus far. Joe, how do you know this guy is even in prison? Well, he has sent me videos already showing me certain things about where he is, and it's a good possibility that I'll be sharing those things with you. Joe, what does this guy even look like? Maybe some people are thinking, I'm going to show you this picture right here. This is the only thing I'm seeing of this guy. And moving forward, this will be the only thing that you're seeing of this guy as well. This guy is legitimately like undercover in prison, and that sounds horrible. So possibly a better way to word it would be like an inside source in prison, who is going to be sharing with us what exactly prisoners are really eating, which brings me back to the initial email this guy sent to me under an alias name from a bogus email. And I guess the reason why this guy reached out to me, I said he's got a cell phone in prison. He's seen After Prison Show videos, and it was this past week where I was really on this kick about prison food. And with that, we did a video about the famous last meals of prisoners, and we also did meals that you're guaranteed to be eating in prison. Starting first with this picture right here of this hot dog tray, which, this is actually a boss tray. I ain't never been locked up nowhere where you're getting 3 hot dogs. Well, ironically enough, those meals that we shared in that video are nothing like what you guys are getting ready to see. Beginning today, you're going to be seeing what prisoners are really eating in prison. And maybe this will be a shocking video to you guys. Maybe it'll be an interesting video to you guys. And maybe it'll be a motivator to stay your ass out of where this guy has been for much of his life. And there's also the possibility that he's going to spend the rest of his life there as well. Another possible frequently thought question that I want to go ahead and try to answer is, how can you believe anything that this guy is telling you? You don't know anything about this guy. And you're right, I don't. I have no idea what he's locked up for. I have no idea how much time he's been locked up for, other than the fact that he's been locked up for decades. But he gave me an alias, which he says he's got numerous nicknames in prison. And he said, go ask such and such, who used to be a part of After Prison Show a long time ago, if they remember me. And I reached out to this person. I'm not going to put their name out there. And they told me they did. They remembered this person from way back in the day. So that's about all I've got in terms of what I can share with you guys about who this person is. We've got an inside source, and we're going to be seeing what prisoners are eating. We're going to be hearing some pretty crazy stories, I imagine, from a guy who is still currently serving time, hearing what the conditions are like in prison right now, which I've already been seeing videos that this guy has been sending to me about that particular topic. And those conditions are pretty much what you guys could probably imagine, or maybe even worse. So I say all of that to say this. I was on the fence about whether to feature this, maybe just do a video with some pictures, whatever. But after thinking about this a little bit, it's probably going to be a really interesting series and topic here on After Prison Show. One part of all of this, what prisoners are actually eating in prison, and then also possibly getting some stories from this guy. So with that, I want to share all of this with you. Now also, another frequently thought question potentially would be, Joe, what if this guy gets in trouble? What if this guy gets caught? And that's a very good question, one that I've even thought about. But allegedly, and according to what I've learned, what this guy has shared with me, he really don't got nothing to lose. And that's sad. But what are you going to do? So, it's with all of that I'm getting ready to introduce you guys to an undercover source, an inside source in prison, who is getting ready to share with us in this video what prisoners are really eating in prison right now. And guaranteed there's going to be a part 2, 3, 4 through 10 at least of these coming up. So I truly hope that this is something that you guys enjoy. And I'm hopeful that this will be something that you guys find pretty shocking. Because even when I saw this video that was sent to me, this first meal, it was pretty shocking for me. It was actually deja vu-esque, but shocking none the least. So without further ado, I introduce all of you guys to Bob. And folks, this is what prisoners are eating inside of prison right now. Let it be said that all of those trays that we saw in that video, meals that you're guaranteed to be eating while in prison, don't look nothing like what prisoners are really eating.
Well, folks, time for another prison meal. What do you think we have for today? I'm sure you're all salivating. You can't wait to eat this. Alright, let's see. Straight out of the food cart. Oh my, what do we have here? Oh, a few carrots. Another one of those miniature donuts. What the hell is this? Oh, this is the heel of a piece of bread. Okay. Now, oh, we have spaghetti today. Looks delicious, doesn't it? Well, guess what those little chunks are in there? That's something that we like to call meat rock. And I know everybody's wondering, what is meat rock? Meat rock comes from Tyson's chicken in a 40-pound box that is labeled mechanically separated chicken for further processing only. But the Department of Corrections loves this stuff. Anything that requires meat in the recipe, they use meat rock instead of beef. Which of course is a violation of their own policy. But they don't give a damn about their own policies. Prisoners are the only ones that are expected to follow the policies. So getting back to the meat rock. Meat rock is comprised of all the parts of the chicken that is thrown away, such as the feet, the beaks, the veins, the tendons, all that kind of stuff. It's ground up into a pulp and put into a 40-pound box and frozen. Now, when you go to cook this shit, you take it out of the box in one big 40-pound slab and set it on a sheet pan. And then you put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw out overnight. Now, when you open the refrigerator in the morning, there's going to be blood all over the floor of it because that meat rock has melted and all those veins that were crushed up let out all the blood that was frozen. So, you take the meat rock out and you throw it in a pot and you cook it. And it stinks like rotten chicken. If you've ever been into a poultry plant or a chicken farm, that's what it smells like. And they throw that in everything they serve. Usually, the only things you're served in here is this fake-ass spaghetti, or noodles that they call various different meals. They're those little curved elbow noodles, and they'll put meat rock in it. Today they'll call it chili con carne. Tomorrow they'll call it Hungarian goulash. You know, and the list just goes on and on. They've got a different name for the same thing, constantly. So, let's see what kind of a portion they gave us today. You notice they didn't give us a utensil to eat with again. They expect us to lap it up like a dog with our fingers. They also didn't give us a napkin and salt and pepper like they're supposed to. But that's the norm too. Alright, I still have my little teaspoon. So, let's see what we got here. The carrots. This is a teaspoon. So let's see, we've got 1. We've got 2. Two and a half teaspoons of carrots. Yum yum. And there's that miniature donut again. Now, believe it or not, this spaghetti looks like a very large portion. Now, you may not think so out there, but for us in here, that's a big portion. I'm willing to bet it's not the standard 12 ounces that it's supposed to be. But let's take a look and see. I have a 8-ounce styrofoam cup here. So I will take that and fill it up. Looks like it's just about enough to fill the styrofoam cup up. So, let's see. I'm going to do this the easy way. Yep, that's exactly what it is. 8 ounces. Now let me get that last little smidgen so they don't say I cheated them. There you have it. 8-ounce cup filled almost to the rim. So there you have it. Once again, 2/3 this time of what they are supposed to feed us. 8 ounces instead of 12. And let's not forget the heel of the bread. Yum yum. Well, again, I'm not eating this shit, and I don't think you would. I bet your dog wouldn't even eat this.